KBS World.
Delivering today's Korea to the world, it is Wednesday, August 28th here in Seoul. And News Today starts now.
Despite Korea's offer to reconsider its position regarding GSOMIA, Japan has moved forward with officially removing South Korea from the country's whitelist of trusted trading partners. 8 years after the toxic humidifier disinfectant scandal in Korea, new evidence has emerged suggesting that 2 Korean companies attempted to obstruct the passage of a revised special law on humidifiers. Environmentally friendly crops from the northern parts of Gyeonggi-do province have emerged as a lucrative source of profits for farmers in the region.
Welcome back. I'm Tae-Gyeon, and we take a look at today's top stories. Japan's removal of South Korea from its whitelist of trusted trade partners took effect Wednesday. Japan rejected a proposal by the South Korean Prime Minister that if Tokyo withdrew its export restrictions, Seoul would reconsider its decision to terminate a military intelligence sharing pact with Japan.
During a recent Japanese cabinet meeting, a revised ordinance was introduced calling for the exclusion of Korea from Japan's trade whitelist. According to minutes from the meeting, the revision was passed quickly, following just 15 seconds of explanation. The 18 cabinet members in attendance did not utter a word. The revised bill, approved in this fashion, went into effect on the 28th.
まずこれまでも繰り返し述べてきておりますように、我が国の今般の輸出管理の見直しは安全保障上の観点から、我が国の輸出管理制度を適切に実施する上で必要な運用の見直しであります。
Under the changed rule, all exports to Korea that could be diverted for military use are now subject to case-by-case individual inspections. This restriction practically allows the Japanese government to control shipments to South Korea. Tokyo rejected Korean Prime Minister Lee Nak-young's proposal that if Japan were to withdraw its restrictions, Seoul would reconsider its decision to end the General Security of Military Information Agreement with Japan. After their cabinet meeting Tuesday, Japanese ministers repeated the same words in unison.
次元の違う問題だと思いますので、全く次元の違う話だということ。
In particular, Foreign Minister Taro Kono said the most important issue between the two countries is the 1965 bilateral agreement, and even went so far as to say that Korea should realize it is impossible to rewrite history. There is speculation that Japan may not immediately issue a list of additional export restrictions. But it indeed appears to be continuing its unjustified trade pressure against Korea by creating an environment where Japan can implement restrictions anytime it wants.
A state-funded investigation commission is holding a public hearing on a toxic humidifier disinfectant that caused thousands of deaths. The hearing, which started Tuesday, comes 8 years after the disinfectant's deadly effects were first publicized. Circumstantial evidence has also emerged, pointing to joint efforts by SK Chemicals and Aegyung Group to obstruct the passage of a revised special law on humidifiers.
Ha Kyung-suk, a victim of a toxic humidifier disinfectant, came to the hearing on a wheelchair and attached to a respirator. Her husband takes the mic to give her testimony as she is unable to speak.
이 사람은 이 인공호흡기 없이는 단 1분도 숨을 쉴 수가 없습니다. 피해자는 있는데 아직까지 한마디 사과도 없이.
This is the first hearing hosted by a special investigation committee looking into social disasters. The committee unveiled internal minutes showing SK Chemicals and Aegyung Industrial Company formed a consultation body in late 2017 to jointly respond to the humidifier scandal. SK was the manufacturer of one of the deadly sterilizers, while Aegyung sold the product. The meeting records show the two firms shared information on measures and moves related to the prosecution and the Fair Trade Commission. They are also believed to have tried to stop Parliament approval of a revision to a related law that will push back the time limit for compensation claims.
야당 측 의원 등에게 적어도 올해 안에는 법률이 통과되지 않도록 지연시킬 수 있는 명분을 만들어 주고 원보이스를 낼 수 있도록 김앤장 의견서 공유 요청 이렇게 돼 있습니다.
During the hearing, the Fair Trade Commission also came under scrutiny for allegedly colluding with companies and turning a blind eye to false and exaggerated advertising that promoted the humidifier disinfectants as being safe to use. The former CEO of SK Chemicals, who spoke as a witness, bowed his head and apologized to the victims.
피해자분들과 가족분들께 진심 어린 사과를 드립니다.
On Wednesday morning, the hearing continues with a questioning session involving Oxyreckid Bankiser, LG Household and Healthcare, as well as other companies that sold the toxic humidifier disinfectant products.
As part of their investigation into allegations surrounding Justice Minister nominee Cho Guk, prosecutors have banned some of his family members, including his wife, from leaving the nation. Global rating agency Standard & Poor's said in a report today that Korean banks will likely maintain their capital adequacy at the current level over the next few years based on their inclination to gradually increase assets. With the Chuseok holiday approaching, the Fair Trade Commission and the Korea Consumer Agency are advising consumers to prevent possible financial damage by taking extra caution when purchasing flights and gift vouchers, as well as choosing partial delivery services. According to a 2018 survey by the Ministry of Health and Welfare, 6 out of 10 Korean parents think that corporal punishment is unnecessary when disciplining children. Next, we'll meet a person who has photographed and drawn ancient royal palaces for 10 years. Although the artist never received professional training in photography or art, his pictures of Gyeongbokgung Palace represents his extraordinary passion and affection for the historic relic.
At Korea's ancient royal palaces, nature and architecture exist in harmony, underscoring their mysterious landscapes. The dignified and picturesque scenery of the country's royal palaces remains unchanged year-round. They are also home to numerous living creatures. These images of Gyeongbokgung Palace were taken by Lee Ho-jun, the owner of a one-person publishing company. Lee was mesmerized by Gyeongbokgung Palace 10 years ago when he visited with his family. He has been visiting the palace to take photos of the priceless cultural relic whenever he has time ever since.
10년이면 강산도 변한다고 하잖아요. 경복궁이 저와 함께 나이 들어가는구나. 그것도 무척이나 아름답게 나이 들어가는구나. 그런 모습을 보았습니다.
Lee had never received professional training in drawing, but drawing and writing have become his favorite pastimes. His works show the hidden side of the palace, representing his extraordinary passion. Lee has shared his works with countless people on social media. Recently, he held his first exhibition.
저에게 궁궐이란 친구이자 인생입니다. 경복궁과의 소통을 통해서 그리고 여러 궁궐과의 소통을 통해서 제가 참 많은 것을 얻고 있구나라는 것을 깨달았습니다.
Lee's works provide glimpses of the lesser-known sides of Gyeongbokgung Palace that are hard to discover without extraordinary affection and enthusiasm.
More sea turtles caught in fishing nets have been rescued recently in the sea off Jeju-do Island. A growing number of sea turtles and endangered species are being found dead and discarded in fishing nets these days.
A Coast Guard officer pours seawater on a red sea turtle trapped in a fishing net. Meanwhile, the others are trying to remove the net from the animal. The red sea turtle, measuring 115 centimeters, was found on the coast of Songsanub in the city of Seogwipo. It is an internationally protected species. A green sea turtle measuring 50 centimeters was also caught in the same fishing net. Its neck was completely stuck in the net. The animal's body was scratched all over, but luckily, it's in stable condition. The turtles were spotted by tourists strolling at the beach. They were both rescued unharmed. The turtles will receive medical treatment at a rescue center specializing in marine animals before being released back to the ocean.
다행히 죽지 않고 살아 있어가지고 이제 이 붉은 바다 거북이 회귀경로가 어떤지 위성 측정이 달아가지고 어떻게 움직이는지를 저희들이 이제 관찰할 예정입니다.
The number of sea turtles that are endangered species worldwide that either died or were caught in discarded fishing equipment off the coast of Jeju-do Island more than doubled from only 7 last year to 15 this year. 7 rescued sea turtles that were caught in fishing nets alive this year will be released back to the ocean after undergoing medical treatment.
Crops grown in Korea have undergone significant change in recent years due to global warming. Melons, which had been mostly cultivated in the Jeollanam-do and Chungcheongnam-do regions, are now grown in the northern parts of Gyeonggi-do province as well, emerging as a new source of revenue for local farmers.
At this greenhouse in Yangju, Gyeonggi-do province, large melons ripen in the hot sun. This farm started cultivating melons this year because the crop is cost-effective and is expected to bring strong profits. The results of pilot cultivation of melons last year by a local agricultural technology center showed that the crop does not require electrical heating and can be harvested about 5 days later than in the southern regions, which means higher sweetness.
수정이 되면은 위에 순을 갖다 지르고 나면은 다른 크게 할 일이 없으니까 그거 면에서는 일손이 절감되는 것 같습니다.
However, marketing remains an issue. To find more competitive marketing channels than those used by melon farms with more experience, this farm decided to supply its produce to school cafeterias. The farm publicized the eco-friendly, pesticide-free aspect of its produce. This year it supplied melons to schools at approximately 7,000 won per kilogram, roughly triple the price of regular melons. 4 farms in the area launched eco-friendly melon cultivation this year. By next month, they expect profits of 70 million won after harvesting 8,000 square meters of farmland.
저비용 고효율의 농업을 실현하기 위해서 자동 관계 시스템, 스마트팜 시설을 적극 지원하고자 합니다.
Climate change has moved growing areas for crops like melons northward, providing a lucrative source of revenue for South Korean farmers.
On today's South Korea, we talk about an army musical and Sunmi making a comeback. The Korean Army announced that it will stage an army musical called Return the Promise of the Day in October, starring Xiumin of EXO, Onyu of SHINee, and Yoon Ji-sung of 101 and more. This and more on today's Cultural News.
Last year, an army musical titled Shinun Military Academy became a huge hit, drawing a total audience of 110,000. Come October, the Republic of Korea Army will stage another musical, Return the Promise of the Day. The new production seeks to build rapport on the joint inter-Korean excavations of war remains in the demilitarized zone. The production company said the cast includes a number of K-pop idols who are serving in the military, including Xiumin of EXO, Onyu of SHINee, Yoon Ji-sung of 101, and Kim Sung-gyu of Infinite. Sunmi, a former Wonder Girls member turned solo, released a new song on August 27th. The artist partially unveiled the music video for the new song titled La La Lay on social media to notify fans of her comeback. The music video features images of Sunmi and a brief yet intense chorus. According to sources, Sunmi wrote the song after drawing inspiration during a world tour early this year. The song comes 5 months after the K-pop star released her single Noir back in March. It's her first official TV appearance after a 1-year hiatus. Sunmi plans to get more active after launching the digital sale of her new song.
And that's all we have for you on News Today. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.